Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Michael from Foos 4 Trading, and welcome to the small cap recap. Pretty happy to have a lot of you show the support that you want to see some content. I'm happy to give it to you, and let's get things rolling. So the goal of this concept and this daily video for you guys is to show you how some of these small caps work. Going to try and diagnose each play that is the main mover of each day and try to diagnose what bulls and bears we're thinking throughout the day. Go over a little bit of fundamental analysis, what was the catalyst, what's the deal with the company, etc. And the goal is just to show you guys how these small caps operate, and ideally to show you guys and point you in the right direction to what can lead to profitable trading for you. So as usual, I like to kind of look at the overall market on any given day, and just to do a little bit of overall market analysis, we've basically just been chopping back and forth. I look at the Dow, and 23,000 to 25,000 has really been the support and resistance. We had a nice little move up yesterday off of the Italian news, and then basically right back down today. But thankfully, in terms of small caps, that means absolutely nothing because over the past 2 days, there's been multiple stocks that have moved 100% plus. So these small caps seem to not be correlated much with the overall market. There's a lot of theory behind that, but to be brief, small caps tend to be more domestic stocks. A lot of this presidency has been more what they call protectionist policy, more favorable for domestic companies. So you're seeing these small caps honestly be the benefit of this type of market that we're in. So that's great for us as day traders. So today, guys, because I promised I was going to do a video yesterday as well, I'm going to be talking about 4 stocks in particular that have moved over the past 2 days. So first, we're going to start with yesterday. I'd like to start with SGLB. So this is basically what some people call a nano cap stock, which has roughly 4.7 million share float, super small. And lately, the type of market that we're in, this is a former runner. It had a huge run back in late 2017 from $1.25 all the way to about 450. So it's been known to make moves and mostly give it back. Same thing happened back here from 1 to 9 to give it all back. So you can look from an historic standpoint. That's how the stock acts. Okay, and the news, some type of catalyst came out, and you basically had really nice resistance at $2. So, with these small caps, using those whole numbers, that halfway mark I always talk about is a very important level. So SGLB, you get the catalyst and the headline, and all you get right out of the open is basically a rip from about $1.45 all the way to as high as 230 where we halt. So this has been the type of market that we're in. You get these low float stocks that are under, I would say under at least 10 million share float, and you get some type of catalyst, and there's a lot of these bulls that are just hopping on the momentum, and they're in a buy first, ask questions later type of mentality. Now, what ends up happening is these things have been either holding up all day and float rotating and being headaches, or they usually pop and drop. SGLB, basically what I was looking for, guys, I did not play the long at all, but I was looking for a move off of the halt. I was going to risk off of basically the prior high, which is $3, and looking for a possible move back down to 2. So I was looking to enter 250 to 260. So once, and risking off of $3. Once we got off, you can see off the halt, it was acting very weak. We had a huge sell candle right here of about 600,000 shares. So I hopped on board at 250 and started adding. I had about a 235 average, and within a couple minutes, I was up pretty significantly. And unfortunately, I had covers at 190 that never got filled, and the stock ended up doing what I like to call the stair step, just kind of squeezing shorts and making it very difficult for longs. This is no way an easy trade. And then it cracks, you get a really nice flag, and then shorts probably start attacking here as well because they think, okay, that was the move to the downside. But once we started to hold all day, especially this level right here at 233, and especially the support forming at about 250, that halfway dollar mark, it was very evident that there was a lot of people competing in the stock, and possibly a lot of shorts, that were stuck with maybe not too good with decent size at a bad price. So people start to get a little bit antsy shorts, and then what happens is you get these violent moves. People shorting and then covering, longs buying and then selling, and then intraday it is not an easy trade at all in either direction. So going back to the open, this is lately what it's all about: trading the first hour, sometimes a little more, and taking advantage of what's called price discovery. News is out, stock opens, where does that stock deserve to be? What does the market think the price of that stock should be? What happens is you get a lot of volatility, and the key is to play that volatility, get a decent gain, and then don't get greedy. And that's the easiest play lately. If you hang around, it's not easy at all. So this was basically your all day, and I can increase the time frame. Very difficult trade up until 3 o'clock, when the stock did not justify this type of move. And you can draw this many ways. This is basically a head and shoulders pattern where you have the head, the left shoulder, and the right shoulder, and the neckline at about 250. So once this drop happened, you could even say 260. Once this drop happened right here, and we dropped that 260, it was lights out. There was no bulls there to buy this thing because it didn't deserve to be up, and there was basically shorts just snatching bids left and right. And this thing went all the way back to where it started. So incredible moves in small caps. Market, was up yesterday. Even still, this stock was up significantly. A lot of action. I know people can trade it in either direction, but my point is that some of these stocks don't deserve to be at these prices. So if you are longing them, at least just be careful, um, because there are shorts that are attacking fundamentally garbage stocks like SGLB. So the other one as well, which is also fundamental garbage, is OGEN, OGEN. This is another low float former runner. If you look at the chart, this thing basically went from, this thing has always made moves, only to always give it all back. They do offerings, very manipulated, but everyone knows the end game to OGEN. So resistance at 350, we can say, even three, a little over three. Um, and then if we want to establish something down here, I would say 250. It was a 200 day, so that's what you want to go off of, 250 to 260. OGEN out of the morning gets a really nice push, and then basically goes from $2 all the way to 240. And that 200 day or that 250 to 260 level is very important. And sometimes we never get to those levels, guys, because so many people out there are anticipating those levels. Sometimes they never get met. So how can you avoid that? Is you start a little bit early with smaller size, just to get involved with the trade. And thankfully, OGEN did break down. I had played this from about a 230 average, and started covering on the wash all the way down to about the 180s. But then once again, going back to that first hour, play that price discovery all day. This was a headache, and it basically did a very similar move to SGLB. You get the stair step walk up, and then it goes to retest highs or break them, and like SGLB broke highs only to stop everyone out and then drop. Sometimes that happens. So OGEN is very possible could have squeezed up over 250 and then just come right back down, but it didn't. So you got this little flag. We got below VWAP, and then it was basically just lights out as well. This one, same thing as SGLB, all the way back to where it started. So again, nothing wrong with playing the morning momentum, guys, but you just don't want to be the last one holding the bag. So let's get into today as well. A little bit of a slower day. I didn't make any trades today, but I want to talk about a few stocks that I was looking to nail, and then unfortunately, really didn't get to because it didn't meet my game plan. VTVT, biotech company that ended up failing. I think phase 3 trials, which is why you had this huge gap down, and then ever since then, very manipulated move. All the way from 75 cents to this, we'll say 275 level. So once this move happens, everyone's been shorting pops off that level. And because of the type of market condition we've been in, SGLB, all these types of stocks, I was very hesitant to short this right off the get-go. I was looking to get in on the panic squeeze. So 260, risking off of 275. I thought was pretty decent. If I could get a fill near 260, this could easily drop back down to $2. So I'm risking 15 cents, basically to make 60. Great risk reward. Even ended up going lower, but unfortunately did not get to where I wanted it to be. Obviously 255 was getting slammed, and right at the open, it just drops. Literally within the first 8 minutes, it's back to 214. So can't really get upset about missing that because you have a game plan, you look to execute it. If the stock doesn't meet your expectations, on to the next one. So this is a really nice all-day fade, and it's very indicative of what we've seen from VTVT. And the key with this stock is, guys, you want to at least know something about the company fundamentally. I'm not going to get into too much fundamental analysis, but when you know these stocks fail phase three, um, it usually does not lead to anything good. So you never want to get too hyped up on a long like VTVT. Just good to know the background story. The last one I'd like to talk about today was VKTX. And the reason I want to talk about this one is not, we'll get to the intraday move, but using pre-market support and resistance levels going into the open. So everyone has their own system, but in my opinion, your system should be good for your personality. And the key from trading to trade properly and good, guys, is to remove your emotions. How do you remove emotions? You add rules and parameters to your trading that you are very disciplined to. So I've been trying, and it's worked out a lot for me, to not trade pre-market. Instead, I want to see and observe how the stock acts pre-market, establish rational and realistic support and resistance levels, and use that going into the open. So VKTX 720, we'll say, was resistance. If at and 633 was your support. If at the open it tests 720 and fails, and that's the level you want to use on a possible short. If it holds, and it's easy to say this in hindsight, but this is pre-market what I was thinking. So I was looking for a possible push up. Unfortunately, at the open, right to 680, I really wanted to get it over that 7 level. It didn't happen. However, it did hold 633. So it's no coincidence that that level held, guys, because that was basically your support pre-market. What happens? You get the nice F1 and the momentum move over 720 pre-market highs and immediately just get the squeeze. Whether this news, the stock justifies this move is a whole other question. My point is that this is what happens when shorts, get a little stuck. The stock was easy to short or easy to borrow, so anybody could have participated. And then you just get a crowded move. And I believe this was moving off of MDGL, which was a crazy biotech that had positive phase 2 results, I believe. So we see this insane 140% move. So this was a sympathy mover, but this just got crowded because it was a slower day, and you get this crazy short squeeze to the upside. So very cool market action we're seeing lately. It's not action that is not tradable. It's just action that you definitely want to be cautious and, in my opinion, be more selective. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please like and share. The more feedback that I get from you guys that you love it, the more content that I'm willing to do. So I hope everybody enjoys their night. Catch us live trading every morning, Foods for Trading. I'll catch everybody Friday at the